Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, episode 149. Tonight we're reviewing King Arthur sort of dreams?
No.
I don't know, what's it called?
Legend of the Sword?
Legend of the Sword.
The new Guy Ritchie classic.
I liked this movie.
I liked this movie. I liked it.
It was like a real movie.
It was definitely real. It's, I don't know.
I think
It's too long.
It's too long. The soundtrack is bonkers.
Well, it's Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
I mean, this is now his thing. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take a pre-existing IP and just like Guy Ritchie it. And it seems to be working out for him.
It kind of does. You know, it's like...
I mean, Man from U.N.C.L.E. didn't do well. But I liked it.
We kind of liked it.
I liked Man from U.N.C.L.E. more than this.
Oh, I think I like this more than Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Man from U.N.C.L.E. was like stupider. You know, it was more like, hee hee, I'm gleefully enjoying how silly this is. And
Sure.
This was like, I don't care about this dialogue at all.
It did bog down a little bit in the dialogue. But this had more buff, shirtless men.
Not enough, though.
Not enough, but like, it did. You know what I would have liked?
For how many times he was like bathing in the lake and the rivers and the streams, he was not shirtless.
He was in that one fucking tunic, and I was like, girl, that thing would be so dirty. I love that they were like, oh, he had a stress dream. He's so sweaty, he has to take his shirt off. And I was like, yeah, he does.
Oh, it's just so muscular. I just have to take the shirt off. Can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently during the audition process, because we haven't mentioned, Charlie Hunnam is the lead, and
yeah.
he's hot.
He's hot.
He's sort of like beefier Garrett Hedlund.
Mm-hmm.
And I want them to be brothers,
yes.
hot brothers,
yep.
in some sort of drama,
mm-hmm.
yelling at each other, and then like working on the farm, something. So the story goes, Charlie Hunnam was up for the role, and he had lost a whole bunch of weight, Charlie Hunnam, for Sons of Anarchy, for whatever season they were on. He was all emaciated. And so Guy Ritchie really liked him, but he was like, I mean, he needs to be like ripped, like he needs to be beefed out. Like, do you think you can do it? Like, you can like, you gotta like be ripped. You gotta be ripped. And apparently he just kept bringing it up every time he was like, dude, I'll do it. I got it. I'm gonna be totally beefed out. And the fourth time he goes, okay, dude, this seems to be like a really big deal for you, so we can just do it right now. Bring in the two other guys that are the final contestants or final contenders for the part, and I will beat them up. Like, we'll just do it. Okay? Will that satisfy you? And guess who the other two guys were? You don't have to guess. I'll tell you. Jai Courtney, Jay Courtney, the guy with the unicorn from Suicide Squad. Remember with like...
Oh, yeah.
And Henry Cavill. And then Guy Ritchie gave him the part.
Good.
For being so fabulous.
And a much better actor than Henry Cavill. Like some article or whatever about Henry Cavill showed up where he was like at the Museum of Superman or whatever. And I was like, oh, you just kind of look like cute generic gay boy.
He's starting to look more like Matt Bomer.
Yeah. Like less like, oh fuck, and more just like, yeah, I do that. You know what I mean?
He was always your guy, so...
Well, right.
I always was like, he's generic.
He really
is.
But like, I guess what it is he's become less ripped, and so now he looks even more generic.
Okay.
And when he's like not on the movie screen...
You've like seen him act more.
Maybe.
And it's like slowly disappointing you.
Maybe.
Because he doesn't get it.
No.
The biggest thing about this movie is it got it.
It got it.
It knew what it was doing.
Oh, yeah.
You will either like that or not.
I did.
It knew 100% what it was trying to achieve. And like mostly did achieve it.
It mostly achieved it.
It could have been easily a half an hour shorter. How many flashbacks do we need to his parents getting killed? How many? Although Eric Bana shows up as his dad and I was like, hey Eric Bana, where have you been?
He's great.
He's fine.
He's good.
He's cool. He's okay. I like Eric Bana.
I like Eric Bana.
Munich really messed me up.
I haven't seen it.
Don't see it.
Okay.
Or watch it and then when it gets to the very end, turn it off because you might be ruined forever.
Oh, good.
For on Eric Bana.
Oh, okay.
So anyway,
Right. Oh no, so I really like Charlie Hunnam.
I liked him a lot, and this made me bummed because he was supposed to be Christian Grey, and it fell apart.
Oh.
Wouldn't that have been kind of
he would have been so much
I mean,
sexier.
Those movies still would have been garbage.
It would have been garbage.
But he would have been like...
He would have that presence where you're like, yeah.
It was not a glossy...
Right.
Camelot.
No.
You know, it was not Camelot the musical. It was very... Like, I remember... Let's not go there. It's a silly place.
On second thoughts, let's not go to Camelot. It is a silly place.
I remember at one point looking at the castle, if you could call it that, and I was like, this castle's pretty shitty. Like, it looks fucked up and, like, decrepit and, like, not elegant.
Right.
And, you know, it was not a bright and shiny medieval time.
No, this was not Once Upon a Mattress, you know?
No.
Why isn't there a movie? I answered my own question.
Can we talk about Jude Law?
Yeah.
For like a while?
A little while.
For a period of time.
I think he deserves it.
I thought he was a really good villain.
I thought he was too, and I was so relieved because I've really hated him as of late.
When?
Anytime I see him, I'm just like, oh, go away, Jude Law. You're gross, and like, I don't know.
He used to be really hot, right?
He was like the heartthrob.
He was like so cute and hot. And then he sort of transitioned and had a face that was less hot. Well, the hairline. They gave him a good hairpiece in this.
Yes.
It was very good.
It was.
He was wearing crown and chainmail a lot. So
it was like,
okay. But yes, now he just can be like more of a character actor.
Yeah.
Instead of a heartthrob. He sort of pivoted.
Yes. And I'm appreciative of that.
Because I didn't mind him as Watson in the Sherlock Holmes.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see any of them?
No.
Oh, those were also Guy Ritchie.
Oh. I didn't see any of them. I didn't even know that existed.
With Robert Downey Jr.? It's like a pretty big deal for a while.
Nope. I also kind of liked Jude Law with his super deep V in Spy.
Yeah, well, because he was making fun of himself.
Because he was a villain again, and he was making fun of himself like he was in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, oh, I get it. I know what you want me to do.
He was, hamming it up.
Hamming it up.
He was a villain.
Yeah.
He was like a few yelling scenes away from the villain in Highlander. Like, he was like, I'm evil.
If he, like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he had just gone like, right? You know, it was like, okay.
He literally cut someone's ear off and then yells into the ear that has been cut off. Is this a Quentin Tarantino movie? What's going on? Right. I was like, what's this, though? But this movie's PG-13.
Because he only said fuck once. Do your fucking job. Which I was like, oh, wow.
It just seems
anachronism,
so out of place.
Right? It really did.
It would be very Guy Ritchie, and I would be enjoying it. And then it would be very normal drama, historical drama movie, and I'd be like, this is boring. What's going on? And I just feel like had they edited it fully like a joke, I would have enjoyed it.
Not even a joke, but just like more tongue-in-cheek.
Did a full Guy Ritchie.
Yeah. Also, okay, so my biggest problem with the movie.
The nauseating fight scene.
Well, sure.
I was like, I'm gonna vomit.
Well, particularly when he would like hold Excalibur. Once he started using Excalibur, like, it would like slow motion things.
With like dust. It was like he went into a different world, which maybe was the Dark Land?
Yeah, I don't know.
That wasn't explained.
It was not very clear.
Yeah.
So then it also made me really angry. Like, I got it. So the first time he uses Excalibur, like, well, so he grabs it out of the stone.
Yes. Wait, but do you remember who told him to grab it out of the stone?
Oh, yeah. Wait, who was that?
So David Beckham shows up.
That's right!
And he was not half bad.
He wasn't.
I was like, hey, you had me fooled that you were an actor for the first 2 minutes of your acting scene. And then I went, wait a minute, that's David Beckham.
Why was David Beckham in this movie?
He's British?
Sure. Sure. Where did the giant animals come from?
From the Dark Lands? What was that place that he went?
The Dark Lands. They said it 8 times.
It was the Dark Lands.
Yeah.
I feel like I spaced out often during this movie. There's a lot of characters. We got to the end of the movie. He's knighting his knights, and I was like, "Who's that guy?" And you were like, "He's been here the whole time." And I was like,
"The whole time."
I did not remember.
I guess I noticed because he was one of the hotter ones.
Weird man. I mean, did he have any dialogue? My biggest problem with this movie is I didn't care. Like
about a lot of it.
About the characters. I couldn't tell you who was who. Like, it kept being like, oh, it was so-and-so, and I'd be like, I don't know who that is. There was a lot of people. There was, like, the informant that, like, he had to tell him all about the Vikings. There was the Vikings.
Oh my
there was
God.
all the bordello whores. There was all of his friends in the bordello. There was all the Merry Men Resistance people. There was Jude Law. There was Jude Law's right-hand man, and then he had some few side people. There was
the mages,
the mage lady,
and the lair,
and the lair, and then the blonde lady who was helping, and then the daughter, who I didn't realize was Jude Law's daughter until he said daughter and then killed her.
Oh, he said it once before. She said father.
When he walked in on the three ladies, I was like, what's this? Who's this? Oh, that's his daughter? Because I kept being like, the creepy octopus thing, which I loved, actually.
Yes.
We'll talk about it. It was like, oh, you have to kill a loved one to have the power. And I was like, he's all out of loved ones.
That's what I thought.
Oh.
Well, no.
I forgot about his daughter. Because then there's also the two wives at the beginning and Eric Bana.
Right.
There was so many characters.
There really were a lot. I remember being like, oh, that's his daughter, but he's keeping her like a concubine. This is weird.
But was he? I don't know. It was weird.
Well, kind of.
I mean, I thought that too, but I was like, is that what they were trying to tell us? I don't know.
I don't either.
By the end, I was like, oh no, he wasn't sexing his daughter.
No.
So I was genuinely confused for a large portion of this movie. And I kept wondering, so remember like handsome silver fox guy who kind of looked like Richard Gere and Peter Riegert, like had a baby, like the archer guy.
Oh, yes.
Yes. It took me a while to figure out what, because
he was the guy who was captured, right? Yes. Fatty tuna, Toro,
Tooth. Well, he had a funny. No, his
fatty belly, fat pork fat, baby fish mouth. I don't. What was it?
His name was just Bill. Or
no, it was. Well, his name was William. Okay. Because he knighted her Sir William. He knighted him Sir William.
Okay, so everyone was like a name, but then they also had like nicknames. It was like George, which George? Oh, that George, this one. And I was like, oh guys, this is too much.
He was definitely fat something.
Okay.
But yes, he was the guy that was like captured. That Robin or the.
And then he gave him up. Who'd you almost call him?
Robin Hood.
It did have a Robin Hood vibe.
Yes.
It was like, and I'm gonna steal from the rich and give to the poor, and here's my merry men, we're in the forest. It did have that vibe, for sure. Were you also disappointed that Merlin didn't show up?
A little bit.
I really thought it was gonna be some stunt casting, and like fucking Sean Connery was gonna like come out of retirement and be like, and I am Merlin. But it would be real Scottish-y. Like Derek Jacobi could get in there. Somebody.
Johnny Depp.
No more Johnny Depp.
Nope.
He's lost his pass.
Yes. He's also lost $650 million.
It's revoked. He needs to go away for a period of time. I'm going to say at least 5 years.
Oh my gosh. He can't afford it.
More.
He cannot afford it.
Just go live on one of his 6 islands and tax dodge for 5 to 6 to 10 years and leave me alone. And then maybe you can come back and I'll be like, okay, you're okay again. Can I tell you something else?
What?
This is part 1 in a 6-part planned installment of King Arthur.
6 parts?
That's what I said. You guys calm down. That was gonna be the fucking 6 Fantastic
Beasts movies? Maybe 3.
Like, it's a trilogy. We're good.
It's going to be the Knights of the Round Table now, and it's going to be each one is an adventure of them. Hopefully they have to cut down the tallest tree in the forest with a herring. I'm here for it.
If only. This movie had a lot of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So the like evil creature that is powering Jude Law is this obese woman who's just all tentacles, and then other women mermaid women come out of her tentacles, and it was like really cool.
It was.
And I was like, oh, I love this.
It was like something out of The Lure. I was like, yeah.
And I was wondering later, so basically he has to sacrifice someone that he loves to them, and then they give him a bunch of power. And so in the first scene, he kills his wife. Then he does it to his daughter at the end. And so she goes into the water. And I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it have been cool if one of the women that came out of her was his wife?
Yes,
like,
I thought of that.
At the end, you know, like, and they just keep collecting women, and because, like, of course, these asshole men are always going to murder the women that they love in their lives to get the power. I mean, That would have been kind of great.
That would have been kind of great.
And if maybe Arthur's mom even was like, something. I don't know. Because this definitely was giving me some like John Boorman Excalibur. Have you seen? It's like his Excalibur, and John Boorman always makes weird ass. He did Zardoz. So that's enough said. But Excalibur is one of his, you know, people really like it. It's very weird. But Helen Mirren's in it. I was having like memories of the Sam Neill TV movie Merlin that I fucking love with Helena Bonham Carter and Martin Short, and oh my god, it's so good. Have you not seen it?
I think the only King Arthur related story that I've actually seen is Sword in the Stone and Holy Grail.
You haven't seen First Night?
No.
Oh shit. We have to watch.
We have some
First
watching
Night.
to do.
Oh my god, do we have to watch First Night? I'm so excited. Can we talk about the giant snake? I feel like we should talk about the giant snake.
The giant snake. Well, so at first, the small snake was reminding me of Robin Hood.
Oh, Hiss?
Yes. And I was like, oh, is that a reference? And then I was like, oh no, that's not this story. I really just kept conflating.
Really? Like, it's Robin. No, it's not. It's Robin Hood. Oh my god, it's not.
You know what's surprising?
Huh.
So they have Robin Hood in Once Upon a Time. I don't know why they haven't had... Oh, they did have Excalibur. Never mind. That was the whole thing. This movie is kind of like The Lion King meets Excalibur. Because it's just like, you know, oh, I mean, it's like Hamlet.
Oh, my uncle killed my dad.
Yeah.
And
he gets banished, whatever, right? So he's gone for a while.
He is, yes.
Grows up with some hooligans, Timon and Pumbaa.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern comes back to claim his throne.
Stronger than ever.
So for the first part, he's sort of like, oh, I know all the, you know, I know all how to work the streets, and he was like protecting these prostitutes, and I was like, I love this. This is great. Like, he was really hot. And then there was like a long period of time where he was like, I don't want to be the king. I don't want to be the chosen one. I'm not on board to try and figure out this plan. And I was like, just get on board with the plan already.
Well, you know,
then he did, and it was okay.
What really needed to happen was that he needed to see that his uncle murdered his father sooner.
It took so long. They showed that flashback.
Like, I mean, 1,000 times, and it was like, come on, let's get there already.
Yeah.
And that would have moved, like, we didn't need him being a pouty teenager. I don't want to do this. I just want to go back with my friends. Well, your friends are all dead, so shut the fuck up. Like, you know? It was just like, moving on.
Also, I kind of wanted him to have a bit of a sexy love interest.
I was just about to say, like, also, I wanted him to have a really hot sex scene back in that bed before he had to leave.
I did have a thought of like, so he's raised in a brothel, and I was like, so was he like sleeping with the ladies at the brothel?
No, because they were like his moms, you know? But there should have been like a younger girl or someone, there needed to be someone, it doesn't have to be a girl, someone that he's interested in. And he has like a crazy hot sex scene because he's really sexy and everyone would have been about it. I bit my tongue.
Oh no. Oh,
I was so excited about it. I wanted like some King Arthur the Bachelor days. Oh, don't sleep with too many women because you might get them pregnant. Like, I don't know.
I think you might get syphilis.
Well, that was for sure. I mean, he lives in a brothel.
He just has it.
Maybe that's why he doesn't.
He's like, I
don't want to give it to anyone else.
Yeah,
it's not fair.
It's not fair. I'm too hot. I didn't like that. So at the end, he's like knighting all of his men. He doesn't knight the mage. He doesn't knight blonde lady, whose name we don't know because the movie didn't tell us.
Was that Guinevere? No.
If it was, they did a very poor job of telling us. I feel like I would have remembered if somebody called her Guinevere. I would have been like, oh, that's Guinevere.
Right. Oh, cool. They're
it was like Mary or something. When I read, oh, there's going to be 6 total, I didn't go, oh, great. I can't wait to see that next King Arthur movie. I was like, oh, okay.
But I'll watch it.
Maybe. I'm sure because it'll get sexier.
Yeah,
right?
I hope
so they have
so,
to find a queen.
Yeah.
And then Lancelot's going to show up.
They can get gay together.
That's the affair?
Yeah.
Not Guinevere and Lancelot.
No.
Lancelot and Arthur.
Yeah.
His merry men. Oh wait, that's Robin Hood again. Damn it. It really did. I feel like it's only a matter of time before Guy Ritchie does a Robin Hood though.
Oh, sure.
Like, that's happening, right? That's like on the books.
I'm sure.
So at the end, he's fighting, Jude Law has sacrificed his daughter. He's all, evil
Yep.
demon person again, and he's fighting him on this big tower, and it's like a really nauseating fight scene.
Oh, is that what the sacrifice of his daughter gave him, was the devil power?
Yeah. The ultimate power. Andrew.
I didn't know. I thought it was that it like gave him what he wanted.
Which was
the devil power.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's all coming together. They're fighting on this tower and all this stuff, and all of a sudden the score became like a European ambulance. It was literally like, and I don't know how it got through countless producers, editors, musicians, Guy Ritchie, audiences, and nobody was like, hey guys, that really, really sounds like an ambulance. I think you might want to change the tone or some. I was so distracted. I mean, it was so weird, right? It wasn't just me, right?
I mean, it wasn't as distracting for me, but it did definitely go.
Like, for 7 minutes of this fight scene, I was like, where's that? Is it going to pull up? He's going to need one because he's clearly going to get stabbed. And there's, oh no, it's the ambulance. Oh, it sounded like he was so close. Oh, he died. Oh, you didn't make it. It was wild. Wild.
Wait, we didn't talk about the giant snake. We kept talking about it, but we didn't talk about it.
Well, so the mage lady controls animals.
Yeah, so she
And
sends a
snake.
a hawk,
Well,
an eagle.
There's 3 snakes. There's the little snake that poisons him.
Yes.
Which did...
Protected him from the giant snake.
Okay. They knew he was one of them.
Yep.
Then there's medium-sized snake that comes in and I guess if it can assassinate Jude Law, it would, but if it didn't, it was there to then just conveniently have him hurl the sword into a stone.
Maybe as a distraction. I think it was supposed to try and kill him or whatever him.
Right.
But, you know.
And then a giant fucking snake shows up and just murders everyone.
Well, I wasn't sure why.
How did
maybe
Jude
it's
Law
because
get out of there?
maybe it was because Jude Law killed the snake with Excalibur.
So
that
it,
like the magic of it all.
It. So I didn't hate it.
No.
I enjoyed watching it. It was too long.
It was too
wasn't,
long
like-
and too complicated. They could have just tightened everything.
Except for that one really weird Guy Ritchie scene where he was like, tell us the story, flashback. That's who, George who? Oh my gosh, coins, crazy music, oh my god, flashback here, that, and you were like, oh my god, what's happening? It was Snatch. It was literally like, oh, I'm watching Snatch. Medieval times. It was the most Guy Ritchie-y of all.
Yeah.
And it was also completely unnecessary.
Completely. I guess I'd hoped it would be a little bit more like Gods of Egypt-y.
I wanted it to be a disaster.
Yeah.
It was like a pretty good movie.
It was a pretty good movie.
I wish it had leaned in more to the jokey side of it all.
Yeah.
And it kind of tried to take it more serious.
If it was edited more and like refined a little bit, it could have actually been a really good movie and like a cool, you know.
It's weird, yeah.
spin.
It's like in between. It could have either been a really good like drama action
Yeah.
or a really good weird modern take on medieval times jokey Guy Ritchie.
Sure.
But it was sort of both, and then that was a disservice.
And then it was neither. Yeah.
So yeah, just shorter.
Yeah.
I feel like Man from U.N.C.L.E. was too long too.
Mm-hmm.
Just
kill your darlings.
kill them.